A very common question that I get from a lot of Amazon sellers is how many products do I have to give away daily in order to rank for a specific keyword that I'm trying to rank for? Well, in this video, Troy and I are going to be answering that exact question and showing you real world results from some ASINs in the Seller Tools account to show you what is the best rule of thumb for how many products you should be giving away when you're running a rebate campaign. So let's go ahead and jump into it, starting with introducing you to Troy. What's up, Troy?
Hey, Ian. Glad to be here. Exciting topic to touch on today. For those that don't know me, my name is Troy Johnson. I'm an 7-figure Amazon seller, consultant and advisor for brands, and co-founder at Seller.Tools.
Cool. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Ian Smith. I run an Amazon marketing agency called Evolve Media. We work with a lot of Amazon sellers and we help them with running Facebook ads, Amazon PPC, Google ads, email marketing, messenger bot marketing, and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to book a free consulting call with me, then head over to evolvemedia.agency. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into things. Troy, I got to ask you a question. So what would you say? I mean, is there like a standard rule that people can follow, or does it vary depending on the already order volume that they already have? If they're launching brand new, is that going to be different than somebody that already has sales coming in daily?
Yeah, it really comes from a place of the demand that is behind a keyword, the search volume. Some of the metrics that we've used previously were focused on discounted giveaways when they were very effective. And so we've sort of retooled some of these metrics to say, okay, now that we're utilizing full purchase buys in the form of rebates, and we're looking at what Amazon rewards right now, we're getting away from single day spikes or 3-day giveaways or 8-day giveaways. We're looking at these long extended windows where Amazon wants to see steady sales, steady full price buys, which is fairly intuitive. It's probably the most intuitive of all of what we've seen Amazon rewarding for rank. But that's really what we see being the best way to approach it. And our best practices really work with that in mind.
Okay, so longer term timeframes focus on that, right? So you're saying like 30-day, 60-day target timeframes for getting X amount of sales per day over a 30-day or 60-day period?
Right. Yeah. Essentially running and planning for more evergreen launches, windows that you're looking at for, and that's typically what I give is think about it in sort of 30-day chunks. That may not mean for 30 days you're focusing on one keyword. You may be focusing on 4 or 5. And then as you extend it to like 60 days, you may be rotating keywords as your initial keywords are then performing, ranking, organic sales are taking hold, and slowly then phasing it out. But that's really that rotation of keywords. This is why the strategy is very evergreen in nature. You really should be constantly running ranking campaigns unless you're winning all your keywords, which is pretty rare that you're doing that. But that's also your goal. That's your objective if you're selling on Amazon. You want the page one visibility, all the leverage that Amazon provides for you, not to be missing out on all that potential.
Okay, so let's just talk about somebody who's launching brand new, like they have zero sales volume altogether for all keywords. They're launching a brand new product. What would you say for them as far as how many sales, like per day, should they be trying to get? And should they only target one keyword phrase, or should they target like 5 keyword phrases?
Yeah, when you're just starting out, go after what you can win. So the typical rule of thumb that we land on is between 3 to 7 units per keyword per product. So you have the honeymoon period when you first bring a product online and live on Amazon. You have this sort of grace period where Amazon is understanding your product, understanding its relevancy for keywords. If you can show sales against it, you get a greater ranking benefit. So yes, it's always great if you can go after more keywords, but go after what you can win at the same time. If that's 1-3 keywords that you're rotating, start there if you're just starting out.
Okay. And if you're just starting out and you have zero sales, though, I mean, to me, it seems like it would make more sense to maybe target 3 to 5 keywords and get a little bit of sales kind of balanced across those multiple keywords. That way, you're not raising any red flags in Amazon's eyes. Is that what you would agree with?
Yeah, it really depends, because you have to remember this is incremental sales. So in terms of the perception from Amazon, as much as we can sort of assume, is when they see slow and steady, there's really no flags. When we
Okay.
would run one day launches, it would be massive spikes versus these incremental, almost more organic, more word of mouth type of sales. And it's, again, what you can manage. I mean, Ian, if I could tell people go after 10 keywords, 15 keywords, rotate them, I would say go for it. But it's really what you can manage, what you're comfortable with. Obviously, with ManyChat, we use randomizers, we use unique sequences and flows to be able to achieve that. So there's a little bit more complexity, but if you can do it, definitely go for it. There's nothing wrong, because that honeymoon period is so powerful that you're sort of investing and showing Amazon, hey, we're relevant for this keyword, but we're just sort of pulsing that activity instead of just giving them something dramatic in terms of
Can you
sales.
explain that honeymoon period, what you mean by that?
Yeah, so it essentially boils down to that. When you bring an ASIN online and live to Amazon, they are trying to understand it. There is some analysis taking part from the perspective of Amazon. And as they catalog your product, as they view it, as they see your optimization, how you've set up and configured your listing, the sales that you're realizing, the page interaction, all the ranking factors, it's far more pronounced. It's weighted more heavily when your product first comes online and they start to see, wow, okay, this product is irrelevant for these keywords because it's starting to realize sales. And so you get a bit of a benefit of a doubt in this period of time. So
And how
very
long
much
would you say that period is?
It's really speculated. I've seen it as long as about 180 days, so a very substantial amount of time. But it's also something where I think we see it fading as well, where the more that you can realize in the outset. So this is where inventory readiness, ManyChat flow readiness, all of the pieces being in place to where you can realize it as soon as possible is best. But it sort of fades then over time as your product is more well understood, as potentially you lose some of that sales activity, those relevant keyword driven sales. But it's definitely a key factor. And that's where you see people resetting ASINs and that type of thing.
Gotcha. Okay. So going back to keywords and volume and things like that. So let's say that you're an established seller. You've got, let's say, 50 sales a day that's happening across multiple keywords, and you want to start targeting a specific keyword phrase because you know that if you get to the top of the search results for this keyword phrase, then you'll have X amount more daily sales, let's just say. So what's your strategy there as far as this one target keyword and you already have sales volume going?
Yeah. If it works, Ian, I can hop on my computer and share with you kind of how we unpack some of our best practices to give you really specific numbers, how we approach sort of daily rebated totals.
Yeah. Go ahead and share your screen.
Awesome. So here in Seller.tools, where I'm going to want to go, and the way that we have utilized this in the past, and again, how this has evolved as we've touched on, here in my product manager, let's say we want to take a look at a product that I'm actively managing, this hyaluronic acid serum. If I click on the product, it's going to bring me over to my keyword manager where I'm managing the keywords that I've done some research on. I've run R2A. I know that are relevant to my product. But then I want to know, okay, now that I'm at the keyword level, how many units do I need to give away against a keyword, against an optimized sale, against a keyword for my ASIN? So let's say we have found pure hyaluronic acid, which is intuitively a relevant keyword for our product. This keyword, what we're going to want to look at is the last launch giveaway total. Now, last launch, of course, our launch platform, and this total was really created and developed in such a way to keep in mind discounted giveaways. So this is a discounted promotion, assuming an 8-day launch window. So how do we utilize that to arrive then at a daily rebate total, rebate being a full purchase buy? And so what we can do is we'll take that number, 200 for this keyword, and we'll make sure that we then have a daily number. Again, right now it assumes an 8-day launch window. So if we take that 200, we then divide it by 8 to get the daily number, which gives us 25. And then we divide that number by 3. And that weighting is sort of saying, okay, discounted giveaway, we sort of know, and it's intuitive that Amazon doesn't weight that as heavily as a customer. I come in, I'm willing to spend, full purchase to buy your product. That purchase and its ranking impact is weighted a little bit differently. So we'll divide that by 3 to get our final number, which is 8.3 repeating. Now, as I touched on, Ian, what we still like to do is use that range of 3 to 7. That's kind of our starting place. If you see this, if you do the math and say, okay, well, I see 8. Can you utilize 8 as your daily giveaway? absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. The whole point of seeing what's working most for ranking and then also safeguarding your inventory system, especially now as we see inventory restrictions, is that we don't want to realize a point of diminishing returns. We could easily give away 20 units a day, but is that going to have the same ranking impact or as much of a ranking impact as we'd like? So that's a lot of the thinking that goes into creating that range, using this rule of thumb from our discounted giveaway total, and then how we've sort of evolved it through our own experience, through the weighting of discount versus full purchase buys.
So 3 to 7 sales per day for your target keyword phrase. And is this more related to like the gym analogy where it's like consistency is key and you're only going to see results if you do this for like several months? I mean, in this case, the 30 days, because you were saying, getting 25 sales a day, diminishing returns, right? You're not going to see a massive change. So like doing, let's just say 5, we'll split the 3 to 7 and we'll just say 5 sales a day over 30 or 60 days for a chosen keyword phrase. That's going to be a lot better than doing 25 sales a day for only a 7-day period.
Right. Yeah. And absolutely. Right now, it's a great time for sellers where, like I said, inventory challenges, we've got lockdowns, ASIN level restrictions. This is far more manageable. So it's really a great time in terms of giving Amazon what it's rewarding for ranking, where it's much easier to give away 5 units than it was when we had to give away 100 units in one single day. And like I said, it's more intuitive as I would put it. It's, what do you think Amazon would want? Slow and steady sales, customers showing up every day, buying against that keyword, showing relevancy to your product. And that's what's working. And as we touched on, those 30-day windows, it's a good range of time. Now, if I'm doing this, if I'm setting up and I'm doing the math, I'm also coming in here in Seller Tools. I'm setting up my keyword alerts. I'm monitoring my rank. When is that ranking taking hold? When are organic sales taking hold? So that way, even though I'm setting myself up for a 30-day launch, if I have organic sales taking hold and I'm ranking and I'm visible for my product against that keyword, I'm tapering off. I'm going from 5 down to 4, down to 3, and I'm just phasing out those rebated sales until it's taken hold and I've got page 1 visibility.
Okay, gotcha. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Troy, what would you say to wrap everything up and just kind of give people, just straightforward what they should be doing? I mean, it sounds pretty basic to me. 1 keyword phrase, 3 to 7 sales per day, full price buys are going to be the best choice. What would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Use that as your starting place. The beauty of that is that's your foundation. And as you see exceptions, you can retool, you can tweak. But that as a starting place will allow you to then set up your tools, set up your processes with confidence. Take full advantage of the honeymoon period. Comfortably move through inventory, through rebated purchases. Focus on review capture. It's like I said, it's a really, in terms of how ranking is treated right now, it's far more manageable, far more scalable. And of course, what we focus on is that you can really automate it. So getting the pieces ready to then automate it, that's when you're playing a different game than everyone else. That's where it gets really fun.
Gotcha. Well, cool. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Troy. Again, guys, if you want to check out Seller Tools, you can get a 14-day free trial. Head over to seller.tools. If you want to book a free consulting call with me, then head over to evolvemedia.agency. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll catch you in the next one.